The second panelist who I have the pleasure of introducing is Sachin Singala. Sachin is a digital marketing professional, content creator, and writer who focuses on building brand-led campaigns and shaping compelling digital narratives. Online, he runs a highly engaged Instagram platform where he uses sharp humor and he rigorously dismantles misogynistic content. I'd like to introduce our next panelist, who's Charu Sinha, IPS. She's the Additional Director General of Police. She's the DG of Anti-Corruption Bureau, or ACB. She's the ADG of CID, or as we all know, the Crime Investigation Department. And most importantly for us today, she is also the ADG of the Women's Safety Wing. She is a key inspiration behind the Stand With Her campaign. So thank you, Charuji, for being here. And I'd like to hand over to you to steer this conversation further.
Thank you so much. So very warm welcome again to all our panelists today. The core message of today's panel discussion is that online spaces are as good as real spaces. And men's everyday choices build either a culture of respect or disrespect. So either a culture of dignity or a culture of disrespect. So what exactly is digital dignity about? What are digital boundaries about? What is digital empathy? These are the subjects which we are going to dwell on today. Do we treat people like people online, or do we treat them like content? That is a very important question which I would actually like the panelists to ponder over. The most common harm which is done online is not in the form of a dramatic crime like online sexual harassment, etc. Of course, that is also a part, but that's not our focus today. We are talking about small, repeatable behaviors that slowly teach everyone in the room, in the online room, what is normal. It could be as simple as forwarding a screenshot. It could be laughing at a joke humiliating someone. It could be a humiliating meme. It could be pushing someone constantly for photographs. It could be making a sexist joke. It could even be rating girls and women. It could be age shaming women. It could be ignoring somebody's discomfort, posting without asking, tagging in order to embarrass somebody, and persisting in spite of a repeated no, and turning somebody's private moment into group entertainment. So, what is the shift that we would like to talk about today? There are many people who say that I didn't do anything. I didn't create a joke. I didn't say anything. I didn't participate in anything. So, let's take a look at, as a person who has a very strong online presence, what do I permit? What do I reward? What do I forward? And what do I laugh at? Or what do I stay silent about, especially when it's happening to somebody else? How empathetic are we? How sensitive are we to somebody else's humiliation, somebody else's discomfort, somebody else's trolling? Because it doesn't matter to us. We are not affected by it directly. But how do we permit it? Do we stay silent about it? Do we allow it? Is the question here. Online culture is not built by just that one person who is posting something. It is built more by the audience, by the reactions of the audience, the forwards, or the, bro, it's funny, or the silence, or the belief that just ignore it and move on, right? So again, when we come to treating people like people and not like content, what does that mean? We are not saying that all men are bad, or the men who are online, all men are bad. It's just that men have a very outsized influence on group norms, particularly youth and workplace environments, especially around humor, especially about sexuality, and I'm sure Ansuya can throw a light on that, and what counts as good. So men have an influence in deciding all these factors. So the question for the people who are online is, am I using my social power to increase dignity or to earn points, likes at someone else's expense? And here we are not talking only about men. Women equally participate in these online jokes, forwards, trolling, etc., etc. They are active participants in all this. Why does this matter? Why does all this matter? Because here we are talking about creating a good society. We are talking about creating a society where respect is the most important aspect rather than disrespect. Or rather, in a continuum of disrespect, how do we change it to a culture of respect? This online world seems to have gone totally out of control. And what can we do about it? If disrespect becomes the norm online, it doesn't take long before offline the same happens and it gets translated offline. So in any room where disrespect is the norm, you can imagine that that's how it's going to travel that fast on online, on campuses, in workplaces, in our real world. Silence online can never be neutral. Other groups read it as permission. And this is something which we need to be aware of. So I think with this, I set the tone for the conversation today. So Sachin, can we have your thoughts on this?
So I just wanted to add one more point to this.
Yeah.
So when men say not all men, you again see it's the same men who don't let their girlfriends have male friends or won't let their like daughters go out after a certain time because they believe all men are like problematic, right? So this is that big paradox that you have.
Yeah.
And when it comes to online spaces, like one thing, a lot of men don't think there is any consequence. So that is like the biggest problem for their behavior also.
Anonymity, actually.
Yeah,
Under the
anonymity.
cover of anonymity, people get away with anything.
Yes. So even when I make videos, a lot of times fake, like for example, if I make a video saying, okay, calling someone a woman or calling someone like derogatory slurs like hijra or kojja, this is wrong, there'll be comment under it calling me the same words. And a lot of people don't know this one thing about Instagram, that you can actually see who liked a certain comment.
Right.
So you see like hundreds of people liking that comment, and then you long tap that and you can see who liked it. You see both men and women
Right.
like liking those comments.
Right. Yeah, it's both actually. As I said, it's not just men. It's women who equally participate in all
Yeah,
this.
that's what, like when they think there's going to be anonymity or like when there's not going to be any consequence, then when the people will definitely do it.
The police is watching, and that's something which people need to understand.
Yeah, and especially in boys group, what happens is like to be cool, you punch down on someone or like you basically joke on someone who is weak or who can't speak for
Respond
themselves.
back.
Yeah, I have seen that not everyone in the group are actually comfortable with that.
Right.
But people don't speak up because they don't want to seem uncool to that. So like what people can do is just point out that there's nothing heroic in making fun of someone who can't
Absolutely
like
defend themselves. Yes.
Just it can be just a joke. You can point it out like humorously that there's nothing heroic or you're not really like accomplishing anything by doing this. Online, I think when the person is not in front of you, you kind of don't consider them as a real human being.
Yeah.
So that is also a reason you use whatever words you want. But if the person is in front of you, definitely won't be using those words.
Maybe a little kinder, a little more,
So I think like whenever, even if you're not in a good mood or even if you're riled up, just take a pause and just like try to imagine if someone spoke those same words to you.
Yeah.
How would you feel? And like respond. So this is like one habit probably
which we need to inculcate.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah. So where do you see the biggest failures, dignity failures, as if we can call them, whether it's in private group chats, public comment sections, or is it gaming channels? Where are this, maximum abuse? Where does this happen? Or is it in workplace messaging groups?
I think like not workplace, so I'm not sure. Like there will be definitely consequences in that.
Right.
Private groups, definitely a lot of them.
Right.
Especially these Telegram groups, like where you have there's more anonymity.
Okay.
There's like a lot of misogyny in that. But apart from that, you see this in like public comments also, but mostly from fake accounts. Like there's one difference between silent bystanders and someone who is enabling it by liking it.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's actually
Yeah.
worse than
Yeah.
not saying
Totally,
anything.
totally.
In my content, when there's like abusive comments, it's usually other women that defend me, but lately I've also been seeing men.
Right.
So that is also like
Right.
one good thing. One
What are the
positive.
things which people generally laugh at? What are the things which they make fun of? Anything and everything under the sun?
Usually it's when people have like a certain idea about something, like for example, it could be about like women not doing a certain thing.
Okay.
And when I kind of like break that thing, like for example, there are like videos of like certain celebrity comparing women with like a locked house or like wearing
Right.
helmet. When I try to break that thinking,
Right.
then like the first attack is not on basically like what I'm if I'm saying is right or wrong. It's basically the attack on me, calling me a girl or calling me a homosexual or calling me a performative feminist. A lot of men genuinely believe that they are victims because there are a lot of content creators who basically run this narrative that men are. So this comes from the West, I guess, like from certain content creators like Andrew Tate or that kind
Okay.
of. These are called red pill content creators.
Yeah.
They basically
Yeah.
put a narrative such that men are all victims and women have it very easy.
Easy.
So they've been seeing such content, like a lot of content, and such content also have like a lot of reach in general.
Right.
It's usually people who are into fitness and all. So these fitness influencers, in between they basically have this women degrading women or this kind of content because mostly it's men who follow them.
Right.
So when they've that's just the only kind of content they saw.
Yeah.
And when someone is challenging that, they kind of see it as an attack on them. I think why a lot of young men especially kind of use that language is because like when they see content creators with like 1 lakh or like 5 lakh followers, they don't like outright degrade women or like celebrities. Whenever like Chinmay Garu talks or whenever
Right.
Anu Surya Garu talks, they don't outright degrade, but it is close to that. They basically kind of shame them.
Right.
And when in the comments, when others are degrading, they don't do anything about it.
Right.
And those have a lot of likes.
The bystander phenomenon.
Bystanders. And in some cases, it's the content creators who even like those.
Right.
So when young people see that, they think that is a
It's an approval. It's endorsement.
Endorsement.
Yeah.
And also they
Normalization of that
Yeah.
kind of culture.
and they feel like more in control. Like it's also kind of a way to control women, like abusing them, trolling them.
Keep them on the track.
Yeah.
మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ లో కానీ మీ వర్క్ ప్లేస్ లో కానీ డూ యూ హ్యావ్ పీపుల్ హూ సపోర్ట్ యూ యువర్ స్టాండ్ అండ్ వాట్ యూ డూ?
Yeah. At least in my case, at least I get a lot of support from my immediate
Glad to hear
like
that.
colleagues or like from my family,
Right.
cousins. And I mean, I get a lot of hate from like random men, mostly from fake accounts, but I also get a lot of appreciation from mostly women. And some of them even say things like, okay, it like this has been like life changing for me. I was in a very abusive relationship, and it took me like few videos to basically realize
nice.
what's wrong and get out of it. So
Very
it's
nice.
not like one or two. There were like many messages like
Right.
this.
Firstly, all the content I am talking about feminism is for men, not for women.
Acha.
But it's unfortunately going.
That's really wonderful to hear that. Because all our videos are educative meant to tell women how to protect yourself.
But unfortunately, నేను కిందకి వెళ్ళి రీచ్ రేషియో చూసినప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ బి లైక్ 70% ఉమెన్. అరే నేను చేసింది ఇది మెన్ కోసం రా, మీరెందా ఎందుకు చూస్తున్నారు? లైక్ ఐ వాంట్ దీస్ వీడియోస్ టు గో టు మెన్ ఫీడ్. అప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి అర్థమవుతుంది, ఓకే నాకు హేటెడ్ వస్తుంది, అబ్యూజ్ వస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే మెన్ ఆర్ ఆల్సో విక్టిమ్స్ ఆఫ్ పేట్రియార్కీ. దట్ వాళ్ళు ఆ విక్టిమ్ అంటే మెన్ ఎట్లా ఉన్నారంటే ఫస్ట్ నుంచి కూడా వాళ్ళు విక్టిమ్స్ అవ్వకూడదు, అంటే వాళ్ళు మోసపోయిన వాళ్ళు అవ్వకూడదు, వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు పై స్థాయిలోనే ఉండాలని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళకి స్టాండర్డ్ సెట్ చేసుకున్నారు. వెన్ సమ్వన్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ అవుట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ అండ్ సేయింగ్ అరే యు ఆర్ ఆల్సో విక్టిమ్ అండ్ యు ఆర్ బికమింగ్ విక్టిమ్ బై కమిటింగ్ క్రైమ్స్ అలా అన్నప్పుడు దే ఆర్ నాట్ అక్నాలజింగ్ దట్.
ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ లేదు,
దే ఆర్ నాట్ అక్నాలజింగ్ దట్. ఆల్సో ఇట్లా జరిగినప్పుడు నాకు సపోర్ట్ అంతా బయట నుంచే వస్తుంది మోస్ట్లీ. అండ్ ఫాలోవర్స్, ఉమెన్, స్ట్రేంజర్స్, అండ్ నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది. 2 days నేను డిబేట్ చేశా. 6 members ఉంటాం గ్రూప్లో. 5 versus 1 దేర్ హ్యాపెండ్. 2 days డిబేట్ చేశా. ఐఎమ్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ఆల్ ద స్టాట్స్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఇట్లా ఉంది పరిస్థితి అని చెప్పేసి. అండ్ దే వర్ లైక్ డిఫెండింగ్ మెన్. కాదు, మెన్ అండ్ ఉమెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్లీ క్రిమినల్స్ అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు అంటారు, ఈక్వల్లీ వైలెంట్ అని చెప్పి వాళ్ళు అంటారు. ఓకే, దే క్యాన్ బి ఈక్వల్లీ వైలెంట్, బట్ ప్రజెంట్ ఎవరున్నారు? మనం ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని నార్మలైజ్ చేయకూడదు కదా, మనం ఇప్పుడు కాల్అవుట్ చేయాలి కదా మెన్ని అంటే. నో, యూ షుడ్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ఉమెన్ క్రిమినల్ థింగ్స్ ఆల్సో అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు నాకు అంటారు. అరే, ఆల్రెడీ ఉమెన్ చేస్తున్న క్రిమినల్ థింగ్స్ గురించి అందరూ మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. మీడియా, narratives, కంటెంట్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ కంట్రోల్డ్ బై మెన్ దేర్. వాళ్ళ narratives పుష్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఎవ్రీ వన్ నోస్ లాస్ట్ 5 yearsలో 778 సంథింగ్ వైఫ్స్ హస్బెండ్స్ని చంపేశారని చెప్పేసి. బట్ అదే 5 yearsలో 7,000+ హస్బెండ్స్ వైఫ్స్ని చంపేశారు. నోబడీ నోస్ దట్. ఇది నీకు తెలుసు అని అడుగుతాను నేను. ఫస్ట్ తెలుసు అంటారు. ఐ మై సెల్ఫ్ సే ఇది చాలా క్రూయల్ కదా అని చెప్పేసి. అవును అంటారు. అండ్ దెన్ ఇది చెప్తా, 7,000 వైఫ్స్ని చంపేశారా అంటే అది ఎట్లా అవుతుంది, అది ఎట్లా అవ్వదు, ఎన్సీఆర్బి రికార్డ్స్ చేసుకోవట్లేదు డేటాని, ఎన్సీఆర్బి రాంగ్ ఇక్కడ అంటారు.
అంత కుళ్ళిపోయినట్టుగా నార్మలైజ్ అయిపోయింది. ద అబ్యూస్ అగేన్స్ట్ విమెన్ హ్యాస్ బీన్, it's alarming, the kind of sensationalizing of information. There is so much of information on digital space is that ఏది నిజమో ఏది అబద్ధమో తెలీదు, అండ్ వచ్చినవన్నీ నిజమని నమ్మేసుకుంటారు. అండ్ మోర్ దెన్ జాగ్రత్త పడే కంటే ఇలా కూడా చేయొచ్చా అనే అప్రోచ్ పెట్టుకున్నారు. ఇట్స్ రియలీ స్కేరీ మ్యామ్. లైక్ when you see like a minor committing a crime on a minor.
Yes.
There was like just I'm talking about 3 months
Recently,
back.
yes.
3 months back, ek news maine padha, and then I was like, oh my god, I couldn't sleep over it for a couple of days. And then third day se itne news dekhi main uske, itne. Either the media is wanting that, oh, this is what is attracting, this is the sensational news that people are wanting to watch, but they are underestimating the audience somewhere. Because there are people like us also. And that's what, like how ma'am has said, when these perpetrators or the trollers are passing a message to the rest, we also have to pass a message by saying that it's not going to be okay.
So here, when we talk about online humor also, what differentiates between online humor being respectful and online humor being very humiliating? How do we differentiate between that, and who usually is the target of such kind of humor?
For the first question, when you are also part of the laughing, that is joke. You all
joke.
All of
Okay.
you are, all of you are laughing at it.
Okay.
But when you are laughing at somebody, that's where you cross the line.
That's very clear. Very
It's
clear.
very simple. That's what I'm saying.
And who is the target of such jokes usually? Online jokes. Is it both men and women?
Vulnerables, I can say.
Interesting.
Vulnerables.
Interesting.
Weaker section, ఎవరైనా సరే.
Right.
ఎప్పుడైతే వాళ్ళు రిటాలియేట్ అవ్వలేరు, వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడలేరు, లెట్స్ సే ఉమెన్ అండ్ దెన్ డిసేబుల్ పర్సన్స్ అండ్ దెన్ ట్రాన్స్ పీపుల్.
Right.
సి నిన్న మొన్నటి నుంచి సమైరైనా పీపుల్ ఆర్ ట్రీటింగ్ హిమ్ యాజ్ ఎ రెవల్యూషనరీ. పీపుల్ ఆర్ ట్రీటింగ్ హిమ్ లైక్ ఏ martyr, Bhagat Singh, comparing him to Bhagat Singh, just because ఆయన పైన ఒక 2-3 cases పడ్డాయని చెప్పేసి, because he made some misogynistic jokes on the stage. So okay, cases not misogynistic also,
someone else made in his show.
పడ్డాయి, and he released the show Still Alive అని చెప్పేసి recently, after 3 or 4 months back, after staying calm 3 to 4 months. And then people like now, all the jokes in his stand-up comedy or in his show will be mostly about women, misogynistic jokes, on disabled persons, on trans people. ఇట్లానే ఉంటాయి. అండ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ కంపేరింగ్ హిమ్ టు భగత్ సింగ్, రెవల్యూషనరీ, బికాస్ గవర్నమెంట్ వాంటెడ్ హిమ్ టు షట్ అప్, బికాస్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆయన మీద కేసు వేసింది అని చెప్పేసి. నో, యూ షుడ్ నాట్ ట్రీట్ దెమ్ లైక్ దాట్. ఈవెన్ ఉమెన్ ఆర్ ట్రీటింగ్ హిమ్ లైక్ దాట్. జస్ట్ బికాస్ అందులో హీ షోడ్ సమ్ ఎమోషన్స్. ఏడ్చాడు స్టేజ్ పైన, అంటే మా అమ్మ నాకు మంచి సపోర్ట్ ఇచ్చింది ఇలాంటి టైంలో అన్నాడు. అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఏ అమ్మాయినా తన కొడుకు సపోర్ట్ ఇస్తుంది, బట్ అట్లా అని చెప్పేసి నువ్వు చేసినవన్నీ కరెక్ట్ అయిపోవు. ఈ ఎమోషన్స్ వల్ల ఇది వైరల్ అవుతుంది లాస్ట్ 2-3 days నుంచి. ఎందుకు రెవల్యూషనరీ చేశారో నాకు అర్థం కాలే. అరే నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు దళిత్స్ కోసం నిలబడలే, ఎప్పుడు ఉమెన్ కోసం నిలబడలే, ఎప్పుడు రియల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడలే. అండ్ నువ్వు వచ్చేసి ఇప్పుడు నేను రెవల్యూషనరీ చేస్తున్నా అన్నట్లు షో చేస్తున్నావు. నో బడీ ఈస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ దిస్ ఆల్సో.
Just want to ask a question to
Asya.
Asya. You know, these posh committees ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో generally they are in the corporates or in the, I mean, these spaces of official spaces. Posh committees, are they also existing online? I think posh committees should be there even online, because online presence is like going bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is like creating very unhealthy atmosphere, especially for women.
Prema, here just before Asya answers, like posh committee is meant for workplace, and
Yes.
Asya will just explain that to you
Yeah.
in a minute.
Yeah.
For online harassment, there are clear laws, and the police watches online harassment very closely. They
Okay.
watch all the platforms, and there have been a spate of cases in the recent past where such online abusers have been taken to task, cases have been booked against them, notices have been issued to them. They are accountable for what they are doing.
Definitely. In fact, in the last 10 years or so, most of the posh cases that we have investigated have a digital component
my
to
God.
it. So in today's age, how would harassment happen? It would happen through WhatsApp messages, and then there are very clever things because now you have disappearing messages, right? So before somebody can take a screenshot, that particular message or that image has gone. So yes, the WhatsApp component and the social media component, sort of stalking colleagues on social media, texting them when post 11 p.m. at night when you're drunk, talking nonsense, and then next day at work saying, oh, I hope you didn't mind, I was a little high when I messaged you. Absolutely. And using social media to stalk and then to invite and to befriend, and I'm not just talking about simple befriending. There is, I think the words stalker and predator are very aptly used. It's literally a game. Like you find a younger colleague who you want to
Yeah,
subjugate,
who you
not who you
desire.
like.
Who you
Right? It's
desire.
not about love or like
Yeah.
at all. Right? And then you find out that you know any of her classmates who also happen to be your colleague, and then
It's
you
so
sort of
scary even when you're narrating it.
yeah, it is very scary even when you're investigating it. And so then they will say, okay, invite her over and we'll jam together. So I'm talking about gaming companies, IT companies. This is hip cool crowd, right? So let's invite her over for jamming, and then we'll spike her drink, and then we will do this, we will do that. There is a lot of lot of abuse using apps like Tinder. So, feminists of my generation fought for all sorts of freedom for women, including sexual freedom. And we said, let them now decide who they want to be with. And little did we realize that if your mindset is sick, then nothing can actually help. So now they're using these apps to get a girl to come over, and then they're telling other male friends, the bro culture, you also land up and we will gang rape her. So this is how the dating apps are being misused. Right? So I think we just have to create a society which is very, very aware. And yes, workplace sexual harassment investigations have a very strong online component,
But-
and that has to be looked into. And very often posh committees have to work in collaboration with the cyber cells and with the police.
So I was just about to ask you that question. Now, how do the women who are actually facing all such kind of atrocities online, or such kind of abuse, if they have to approach the posh committees and through them to the cybercrime, or the kind of connection, how do they know? Where should they go?
In
Whom should they
Telangana,
approach?
we have the Women's Safety Wing, right?
Okay.
So we have the Women's Safety Wing headquarters at Lakdi Kapul. Now we have a posh cell there. Any woman can either walk in, she can phone, she can WhatsApp, or she can mail. If she needs any advice about any situation which she is facing at workplace. It can be even either a problem with the internal committee itself, which may not be listening to the woman because the boss is the super boss who is even above the internal committee. It may be the non-formation of an internal committee. So they're all welcome to actually approach the Women's Safety Wing posh cell and take the guidance that they need, and we'll be happy to do the hand holding for them.
See, many
Here-
people don't know this. Ajay, do you know? Ajay and Sachin, do you know about
I
this?
also didn't know.
See.
Sachin, just one quick question. In all the male group cultures, basically, what keeps disrespect alive? Is it peer pressure? Is it status? Is it the kind of laughs which people get and it gives them a kick? Or is it fear of being a killjoy?
Yeah, I think combination of everything.
Okay.
Like firstly, they don't want to be, they don't want to come across as like, who is a killjoy or who doesn't,
Yeah.
like who's like old fashioned.
Cool. They still want to be cool.
They want to
Yeah.
come across as cool or
Yeah.
like dank
Yeah.
or like with dark humor. And in a lot of cases, even when they are uncomfortable, that is the exact reason they don't really say anything about it. And I have seen, especially in like my circles, I've worked at like different organizations or like different cities. So whenever there is only men's group,
Right.
this is very common. Like making fun of women is very common. But even if there is like one or two women in the group, this doesn't happen at all. So the dynamics completely change if there is only men.
Yeah.
So like one thing, like that can stop this is diversity. Like having like all genders
Yeah.
in a group will definitely reduce this.
It's a good one, yeah. When men
Yeah.
have their own groups and boys
don't
clubs
allow
and they
women
want
to
to
get into
hang
the group.
out, yeah, when they
Yeah.
want to hang out in the evening, they don't allow.
They don't allow.
They don't
Yeah.
call or invite women to be a part of it.
Some of these things were just not there. Like this rape ideation so young when you're just 13, 14 years old,
Yeah.
teaching girls a lesson. This was just not there. And we grew up and we were comfortable being ugly. We had pimples and we had such close friendship with boys. And now this exacting standards of beauty, this, I think there's clearly a regression, which is very sad to see, because one would normally think that, and one would expect that every generation would be an improvement on the previous generation, not
Yes.
making things worse.
Can we
But-
say this is because of the internet and online spaces?
Like during my college or something, this was not
Not
the case
there.
at all. It's been happening only now, probably in the last like 5-10 years.
5-10 years.
And in
Wonderful.
10 months, he's a pro now.
So his
way
entire perspective has changed, probably, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
way
yes.
you look at things, the way you look at this entire gender dynamics has changed.
It doesn't take much to actually flip everything.
Yes.
In my case at least, so I think I'm just lucky to be in certain spaces where I was friends with sociologists
Right.
and people who've done like gender studies.
Okay.
So I used to work as a screenwriter before.
Okay.
And I had this one homophobic joke in my comedy sketch that I wrote.
Huh.
It was funny for me when I narrated in the for the writers' room. Also, everyone laughed. It got like good like response in general, good
Right,
views for the
right.
video. And when my friend saw this, she pointed out why that is problematic. I mean, I didn't dismiss it entirely back then, but that is kind of like the starting point for me to basically understand what privilege means.
Right.
So that is when I started learning what gender privilege is, what is caste privilege is, what privilege in general is.
Right.
So that for me, it has been a very long journey.
Yeah.
But till college, even I was someone who thought, okay, men are victims of victims of the society.
If there were any 3 things which y'all would like to tell the online audience, what would it be?
Like one main thing that I would want everyone to know is like whenever you're talking to people, like comments mein gaani, even in DMs, just pause for a bit and understand like would you want to say the same thing to yourself, because the conversation, if it's getting a little heated up or like you're getting a little riled up, there is still no need to use abuses or like don't try to attack the person if you don't agree with a certain point.
Attack the opinion.
Yeah,
if you
attack the
want to.
opinion and do not attack the person.
Right.
And especially if you have a fake account, you feel entitled because you
Yes.
think there's no consequence to it.
No accountability.
Yeah, and it can actually I mean the person who is at the end, like taking end of it,
Receiving
you don't know actually how they would take it,
Yeah.
how much they would suffer.
Yeah.
Like initially, even it was like really hard for me initially
Yeah.
when I was getting like outright abuses. Now I'm kind of like used to it, and also I hear stories of like women who like without doing anything, they get these follow requests. If they don't take those requests, there's like abuses under it. There is one woman that sent me screenshots of like all the requests that she got because she wanted me to make a video on it. She sent me some 27 just from like one woman. So imagine if I asked people to send requests, I would probably get like hundreds.
Yeah.
Normalize calling out. It could be like a 1 minute Sigma edit also, or it could be like a
Yes.
3-hour film where the actor is degrading women.
Right.
Or alanti movies, blockbusters could have that doesn't mean that is right.
Right.
People are not normalizing calling out. That will become the mainstream narrative in general. So people, like at least young men will think that is like the normal behavior. So this thing I observed in my own cousins also. My young cousins, they were following all these creators, or like they were liking these posts where it was outright degrading women.
Right.
Even if it's like a creator or if it's like a movie director also. If someone says ki okay, this this behavior is there because society mein itla is there, and when even they say things like okay, people don't learn things from movies. No one is becoming IAS by watching a movie. No one will become IAS. No one will do like hard things from movies. They will like definitely learn easy things like stalking or like degrading women. So normalize calling out because it is very much needed. There are some creators in Telugu space, but we are very few. The only reason even I get whatever reach I'm getting is because literally no one is talking about it.
Right.
There are literally like handful of people talking about it, so that women feel heard.
All of us need fixing, and all of us need to fix.
So all of us have to be individually responsible. We do have that power to bring in change just with one voice.
Yes, absolutely.
Imagine, that's what Sachin's song has done to me. The first reel I saw of yours was Normui, Normui, no Normui. It was fantastic. You should see that reel. Yeah.
So basically, a lot of men who don't even know, like, who are not even capable of googling the meaning of feminism, but they give you lectures of like feminism. So this song was directed to them.
Okay.
So it goes like Norumai, Norumai, Norumai. You sound like a fool, quite frankly. You're a parasite of patriarchy. Definition telsuko urgently. Feminism's all about equality.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What else would you like to add for this younger group of teenagers?
This can be a little on a systematic level, because in schools, if you don't teach like men, as young men especially, about what gender privilege is, they're going to internet and they're going to learn only the other thing, which is like completely opposite, because there is no other way, like,
which is maximized now.
Yes.
which is no resource at all. Like that is also one of the motivations for me to start this thing on Instagram, because my younger cousins don't have anything else to compare it to. They've only seen the misogynistic reels and they think that is the only thing.